always friends. Let's stay real close till the end. Forgiving each other, letting love cover. Always sisters, always friends. We have to live in harmony, even though we may disagree. Fighting each other is not the answer. Sharing the game. Let's be rich with peace and love. Adding compassion from above. Never forsaking, just understanding. Ain't that what families are?
Good morning.
Hey, good afternoon. Hey.
Yeah, not morning. Good afternoon.
Linda, did you just wake up or something, girl? Have you had
No, it's just been a morning. That's all. It's been a morning and the computer has just been acting crazy. So I'm finally here. It's afternoon.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all God. It's a great God day, y'all. I promise you. Woo! I'm so happy. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday.
Hey.
Happy Saturday.
Happy. It's a sunshiny day. We woke up to see it. I tell you, it's a wonderful thing, girl, when you can wake up and see the sunshine. What's going on? Okay. All right. Hey, y'all. Dr. Renee is in the house. Always happy to see you, girl.
Likewise. I love you. My sisters.
I know. I love it. Always. This is a powerhouse show today. That's all I'm going to say. Powerhouse show. We have one of the best of the best.
It is awesome.
We're the best of the best on the show today. That's all I can say, y'all. And this is our education segment. Peggy, right. I am so happy that you are able to bring such distinguished guests.
Come on, Peggy. Come on.
Bring such distinguished guests. So we got a lot going on. We have a lot to share. But this is what I want to say on the top. Vote. That's all I'm going to say. I want us to vote. I have to go there because we are winding down. We're winding down. So we know what time it is. We know what's going on. And we must be accountable. For what we do. Peggy, what do you got to say to that?
Vote.
Yeah. What you got to say to that, Renee? Just what you got to say, girl?
VOTE for Biden-Harris 2020. Bam, boom, pow. Come on, man.
And Miss Linda, what do you have to say to that, darling?
I say get out your bed and vote early.
Well, and that's what's going on. A lot of people started to vote early. We have a lot of people who are just, I think people are getting it. You know what I mean? I believe they're really getting the fact that we got to turn this country around. Yeah. We must turn it around. We got to do this for the betterment of us all.
Yes,
it's turning around now.
Just start turning it around, and I'm proud about what we need to do. So that's something that I definitely know that's happening now. We're going to have a special show that's going to be coming up soon. We're going to tell you all more about that. But I'm glad our sisters are on board. Sisters for Sisters Network. Woo! We are on board, honey. Women are on fire. These women are on fire. You know what I mean? We got to be about, they say, our father's business.
Women right now, they're walking.
They're walking right now. Mm-hmm. People are really doing it. They're getting out and they're doing what they need to do to start making a difference. To start. And I want our youth. They are, yes. And I want our youth to be encouraged. Yes, be encouraged, youth. You are our future. Yes. You are who we need to get things done. And they are excited. We got to get to, help them to continue to be excited. About a change, because a change is going to come, but we got to help them to continue to be excited. So that's good. I know what else I'm excited about. I'm on a roll.
It's going to come.
Must be butter because I'm on a roll. So guess what else I'm excited about? Woo, woo, woo.
What are you excited about?
I'm excited because it's a happy birthday in the house. Woo! It's Libra Libra month. Happy birthday to all the Libras out there. Absolutely. We salute you for having a birthday. And it's all good. But you know what?
My mama's a Libra.
Who's a Libra? Who's a Libra, Linda?
I was saying my mom was a Libra. My mom was a Libra.
Happy heavenly birthday to your mom. Absolutely.
Happy heavenly birthday to her on the 6th. On the 6th.
Absolutely. Yes. And all of those who are sharing a birthday, just put in the chat saying happy birthday.
Celebrating a birthday tomorrow.
Who?
Renee Allen.
I was getting ready to get to that. That's my thing. That's why I say I'm so happy, because I know she's celebrating a birthday.
Yes,
absolutely, girl. So how do you feel about being 25 plus?
What?
How do you feel about being 25 plus?
Oh, it's always a wonderful feeling. I feel 25.
You should.
It's all about how you feel, what you're eating, what you're doing, what you're pouring into your body, your temple, and how your mindset is. So I feel pretty young.
Yeah, that's good. I know you look wonderful. You look gorgeous, darling. Yeah, you really always. But today you look very radiant. Today,
always you look beautiful.
Always.
Black don't crack, y'all.
And but also we want to salute Howard University. HU. They are celebrating their homecoming is today.
So, and my niece Shayna.
Yeah.
Look, Wyoming, my niece Shayna, she received a scholarship from Sister for Sisters Network, and that's her alma mater.
Oh, wow. That is awesome. That is great. Wonderful. Yeah, my son, he's a Howard U. So, that's all good things. So they're going to have a great day today. They've already started like an hour ago. They're going virtual. So going on all of this.
Dr. Bruno's in the house.
Dr. Bruno. Hey,
Dr. Bruno Mazzali.
So Peggy, we have I feel like because all the guests that we have today, this is seeming like a pre-launch conference of the PNC.
Correct.
And I just know that we're gonna have a good time. People like and share our page. Call somebody, tell them to get on. We got some people that's going to rock your socks today because they got so much to share. Information is power, as we know. So this is information conference full of everything that you need. Would you say, Peg?
Let me share. I've been getting phone calls when they found that Dr. George Fraser was going to be on our show today. My phone. I was a little late because I was trying to respond to all these calls. They want to know what time is Dr. George Fraser coming on. So look, we're going to have to speed it up.
Yeah, we got him on. Yeah, let's go, because this is our education segment today. And so we want everyone to we're always learning. We're forever learning. But today we got some more that we got to get involved with. And he's going to bring a lot along with some other awesome guests that we have today. So I'm excited. Let's move along. Let's make it happen. Hey, I'm ready to go. What about you, Miss Renee?
I'm ready. I'm always ready, set, go, y'all. Y'all know me.
Hey, I mean, without further ado,
for those who really don't know what we know about Dr. George Fraser, let's run this video, okay?
Okay, sure.
Mm-mm. 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 Right.
Dr. G.
Yes. Right.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Peggy, did you want to say something?
All right. No, you ready to bring Jordan?
We are ready. Look, Dr. George Fraser is sought after around the globe. He is a mentor of Sister for Sisters Network. He is our guest today. He is known to most people for networking and having one of the top 5 conferences in the world, according to Forbes magazine. He is the man that we love, adore, and I like us all to welcome Dr. George C. Fraser. Hi, George.
Great. Well, I want to start off with a monologue, and maybe it's a rant. First, I want to apologize. When I got the notification from Peggy about the show, it was in conflict with another interview that I was doing with people that we know, Shay Brown, at 1 o'clock. But I said, listen, I'm going to sneak some time in. I'm gonna show up, and I'm going to beg you to give me an opportunity to come back when I could give you more time, which is what I want to do. So I want to say that right up front. Number 2, I want to encourage all of our brothers and sisters who are listening to vote. All of you said it right at the top of the show. Vote. Respect our ancestors who died and fought for our right to vote. Vote your heart. Vote your conscience. But most importantly, get out there and vote. I know who I'm voting for. I've already voted. I've done a mail-in ballot, and it wasn't real rocket science. I did Democrats throughout the whole line on the ticket. Everybody that said Democrat, they got my vote. All right. I blame the Republicans for the mess that we're in. So that's just my own personal choice. You vote for who you love and respect. That's number 1. Number 2, I want to remind folks about the virtual conference, October the 28th through the 30th. It will be like none you've ever seen before. As 20 years ago, when we invented the Power Networking Conference, we set new standards by which all conferencing would be judged going forward. I promise you this virtual conference is not like any virtual conference you've ever seen. It is a hybrid between television, a Broadway show, and incredible information with incredible people who many of them are on this broadcast tonight. So thank you, ladies. Thank you, Peggy, for inviting me. I just want to throw the gauntlet down on one thing before I have to march out of here. And you got some awesome speakers coming behind me. And so I want to say this and still be loved, as I like to say. We are all drinking from wells that we did not dig. That we are standing on the shoulders of giants. When you think about what our forefathers and ancestors had to go through to allow us to be where we are today, when you think of the struggles that they had to go through, a 250-year fight for our freedom, right? For freedom, 250 years to gain our freedom, and the suffering and the pain. But they did it. 12 generations fought and died for our freedom. Another 5 generations, another 100 years of our ancestors and forefathers fought and died for civil rights, voting rights, and public access from 1864 to 1964, when the Civil Rights Act was put into law, the Voting Rights Act, and then Fair Housing in 1967. So 100 years of civil rights, voting rights, public access. The question that we have to ask ourselves, and I don't want you to answer it now because it's a heavy question. The question is, are we worthy of that legacy? Are we worthy of that? A 350-year fight could get us to where we are. Are we worthy of that? If in fact you think we are worthy, the big and real question for you this afternoon is, what then will be our legacy? What will our children's 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 children be saying about us 150 years from now? We know what we're saying about our forefathers and ancestors. Books and movies are being, and theater productions are being done about them. What will they be saying about us? I am 75. I'm the oldest of the baby boomers. The youngest baby boomer is 55. We are fundamentally responsible for the civil rights movement. Basically, the baby boomer generation drove that. So we have somewhat of a legacy if you are, in fact, in that baby boomer group. The real people that I'm addressing is Generation X, Y, Z, and Generation Alpha. What will be your legacy? Will it be hip-hop? Will it be Black Lives Matter? And Black lives do matter. I love that. But protesting is not enough. Our people want progress without execution. Dr. King protested. Selma, Birmingham, the March on Washington. And then he gathered his 5 closest friends, Andy Young, Julian Bond, Bayard Rustin, you know who they were. And they got 3 laws passed: civil rights, voting rights, and fair housing. They executed. They didn't just protest and saber rattle. So, will Black Lives Matter execute? Will they get new police reform laws passed? Or will they just continue to chant Black Lives Matter? I don't think that's enough. We have to execute. So what will be the legacy of Generation X, Y, Z, and Generation Alpha? People ask me all the time, and I'm just going to close with this point, Dr. Fraser, what happened to Black people in the last 50 years? Why are we going backwards? Why are we at the bottom of every single economic statistic that matters in America? Why are we going backwards? And I said to them, I want to say this is still beloved. It is not the singular reason, but it is an important and powerful reason. We changed when our music changed. Mm. Do you know how important words are to us? Rhythm is to us. When our music changed, we changed. Now, hip-hop is evolving, and it's getting better and more responsible. But sometimes it reverts back to caveman mentality, like the latest Cardi B WAP video. Why? Why would we say those things and perform like that and 50 million of us watch it? How does that help us? How does that lift up the queens that we love and we marry? That is not what you are about. And that's not what we are about. And we are the only people that call ourselves niggas, bitches, and hoes. You don't hear Jews saying it. You don't hear Asians saying it. You don't hear Hispanics saying. No other cultural group on the planet denigrates their own people with that kind of rhythmic beat and toxic words. We have to fix that. Generations to come must fix that. I don't think you want that as your legacy. So I just wanted to throw the gauntlet down. There's much more we can do, much more we can say. We are God's first people. We really are the chosen ones. Yes, I've heard my Jewish brothers and sisters say to me all many times, Dr. Fraser, we are the chosen ones. And I say to them, you may be the chosen ones, but we are the first ones. And you are of our loins. And had it not been for African people, you wouldn't even exist.
Yes, sir.
That's my story. I'm sticking to it. I just.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Joyce, thank you so much.
Awesome.
Before you leave us, I just want to, I've been to the PNC thanks to Sister for Sister Network almost 12 years ago. But will you just tell us of all that you provide, and you provide so much at this conference, what is the one thing that you want every attendee and people who will see the videos to take away from the Power Networking Conference, sir?
I just talked about it. I
Yes,
didn't
sir.
frame it that way, but you were brilliant to understand that. I want them to take that away, that we are about excellence. We are about upward mobility. We have some of the greatest minds, the brightest minds, the most inspiring minds. You're going to have many of them on your show today. So if I had to leave a message, that's the essence of the message. We can do better. We must do better. It is up to us, because this is going to be our legacy. This is what they will be writing about and saying about and teaching about 10 generations from now. So we have to man up and woman up, and we can do this. There's no question about it. I have got to run. I have got to run.
We understand.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
I love you, and thank you so much. Really, I appreciate you. And Stacy NC Grant, she is the mistress of ceremonies for commercial company. She is the bomb.com. She lays it out.
Thank you, Dr.
so much, Dr. George C. Fraser. We love you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Tell Trevor and Shane hi.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Wow. Peggy, Wyoming,
Bye.
Linda, my. Is there one? I call him the 21st century Martin Luther King, but he's bringing economics, y'all. Come on now.
Yeah. I mean, he definitely is so full of knowledge. I could sit under his tutelage forever. You know, you just can just gaze into everything he says with bated breath. It's like, what's next coming out? What else he's got to say? What's going on? Yeah. I wish you had a little more time to address our men. How important of it is our men, our Black men, to be involved, to stay connected, to take an ownership of this community, you know? And next time we have to ask, because I know he has so much to share about men and what they bring to the table. Because women can only do with so much, but our men, when they're strong, and he mentioned it, we are queens. And we have to be respected as such. We have to carry ourselves as such, you know? And so when we are not carrying ourselves like that, but then we have men who feel like they could disrespect us, then what can we say? Yeah. So we have to make sure that we stay in a line with who we are as women, and the men will follow. I believe that. I believe they will get in line.
Yes, ma'am. And to piggyback off you on before we go to the wonderful Dr. Stacy NC Grant, is that, you know, just the subliminal message, just like President Obama, just seeing him as the first Black president, seeing Dr. George as the global leader that he is, he's touching men, women, children. I mean, this is just priceless, and I hope we have him around for a long time.
Yes.
But we do have his dynamic MC of the PNC conference on standby here, and I would just like to say, yes, let's love y'all. Our next guest is Faithpreneur.
Welcome.
Yes. Yes. And that is Dr. Stacy NC Grant, who's the Faithpreneur. She's a dynamic speaker, dynamic mother, a wife. She always advocates women and families, and she is the face of the PNC as the MC extraordinaire. Love her to life. Stacy, tell us how. Hi.
Hi. First of all, can I just get a moment to celebrate that I'm hanging out with some of my favorite ladies, sisters? Hello, somebody. You know your stuff goes up when you hang out with the right people. I'm so glad to be here with all of you. I love you all dearly. You know, Big Sis Peggy, you already know. I just appreciate you so much, and I just love that you introduced me to all these wonderful women. And Dr. Renee, come on now. She always captures my pictures for me. She get me right on the stage, girl. I love the fact that you opened the show and you talked about sisters and what it's just a warm feeling to know that when Black women can support other Black women, it makes a difference. When you shine, I shine. And that's the beauty of what you're doing in the show. So I just want to thank you for having us on. I want to thank you for the example that you set and the way in which you promote excellence, which is just what Dr. Fraser talked about. So yes, I'm the Chief Faithpreneur, founder of Destiny Designers University, and that's a training and development platform for faithpreneurs, faith-based entrepreneurs with a fidelity to God and how they operate, run and manage their business, and faith-based professionals looking to add another stream of income to their personal economy. As Dr. Fraser being one of my mentors, I knew the value of understanding how to create cash flow positive faithpreneurs, because somebody out there with some twisted doctrine told people that if you believe, you got to be poor. The devil is a lie. So you have to learn how to leverage your relationships, your resources, and your revenue to create sustainable and profitable legacy by being cash flow positive. And as a part of the Fraser Nation, it is this assembly of a potpourri of brilliance. You're talking about $100 million worth of intellectual capital with the individuals who come to serve at our Power Networking Conference. This is the first year. It's going to be virtual. We're not used to that. We're used to hugging everybody, seeing everybody, soaking in all of this great content and knowledge. But due to this pandemic, we have to be responsible. So in being responsible, we are now going to be virtual for the first time, but we've added even more in this virtual space. So you have some surprise celebrity guests who are stopping by to share their wisdom. We have information about making sure everybody registers and votes early. We have comedy segments. We even have a little rhythm rumble. We're going to be turning up a little bit, lose some of that visceral. We're going to have fun throughout this event, learning and growing. Learn, earn, and return. This is 19 years of a legacy that I'm honored to be the celebrity guest MC for the last 5-6 years. I lost count, but it's an honor to serve one of my mentors. When I started coming to PNC, I was just a fan. Like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I watched people like Dr. Joel P. Martin, people like Linda Clemens, like, you know, Dr. Emma Fraser Pendleton, who you'll hear from. And those women held the space so that I could grow and be, that I can be the person that I am on that stage, running us through every segment of the day for 3 days straight. I don't sleep. Pray for me. It is all one sleep. No, team no sleep. But it's a joy to know that I'm contributing to the legacy. Dr. Fraser just challenged us. What will our legacy be? And I know for me, serving our Fraser Nation, being a part of our annual Power Networking Conference is a part of my legacy. It's a part of my faithpreneurs that I serve 365 days a year. I bring them right with me to PNC because this is where we fill our cup. As leaders, as power shakers, as power brokers, you need somewhere to fill your cup. He talked about we drink from wells that we didn't dig. The ground is fertile at powernetworkingconference.com. You want to come, you want to sow and invest in being a part of this brilliance so that you can graduate to that next best version of who you're becoming.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff. Absolutely.
Before I turn it over to Naomi for the first question, I just want to say you touched on something about women helping each other to shine. And that's why as a co-host today, I come every third week, every third Saturday. I just wanted to say that's why I love Sisters Four Sisters Live. You know, we started years and years ago, and I love what these three ladies have turned it into, and I love to come back and be a part of it. And look, with the PNC women, you mentioned it as well. So listen, Stacey, the co-host would like to ask you a question each. I'm going to turn it over to Wyoming first. Wyoming?
Hi, thank you so much again for coming on. You're just such a bright, awesome woman. I just love your energy. I wanted to ask you, yes, your company is called Faithpreneur. How important it is for us to have faith in what we're doing.
Absolutely. So Faithpreneur, that describes my tribe. Destiny Designers University is our training and development platform that supports faithpreneurs. Mm-hmm. And you know what I found, Wyoming? A lot of people didn't want to publicly talk about their faith. You know, actually in my journey, people said, you can't talk so much about God because you might turn people off. You might not get a contract. You might not this, you might not that. And my retort was, what's for me is for me. What God has in store for me, nobody can stop or derail it, because that is a part of my predestined designed destiny, right? So that's the thing I'm here to do. I don't have to tell other people what they have to do or make someone feel bad for what they believe, but I won't be apologetic about my faith. So with me, there's no separation of church and state. God is the author and the finisher of my faith, period. So everything I do starts from that vantage point, that I want to honor this life that God has given me. I want to honor the skills that he gave me. I'm not hiding it under a bushel. I was guilty years ago of dimming my light, kind of pulling back a little bit, because I'm a lot of. Not everybody can handle it. But I realize that the more I shine, I allow other people to do the same. And for those who can't take the shine, we'll go get a new pair of sunglasses, honey. But my faith is what grounds me. My faith is what takes me through these difficult moments in a 2020 unprecedented year that we've never seen. I'm right now, real time, as I'm talking to you, in bereavement for one of my dear friends who just had a massive stroke 4 days ago and couldn't recover, and God transitioned him. That's real life happening in real time. If I didn't have my faith, I would crumble. If I didn't know that God is the one who's sustaining me, I wouldn't be able to be here engaging and fellowshipping with you all. That's the reality of life. The circle of life is real. We can't stop it. As something good is happening, something tragic is happening. But our faith tells us that we lean on into our own understanding, that we're in this world, but not of this world. And as faithpreneurs, God will download the answers. He will download the witty ideas. He will give you the products and the services to help heal this land.
So how can someone contact you if they want more information?
Oh, sure. They can just go to destinydesignersuniversity.com. All social media is there. Contact information about our classes. That's destinydesignersuniversity.com. And definitely hang out with me at PNC. You know, for those West Indians out there, there's Bob Marley, one of our famous songwriters, and he has a song that says, "Them I got tired of this to be fierce." So you're gonna be tired of seeing this face at PNC.
Thank you, Dr. Stacy. Linda, do you have a question?
Thank you. Well, I was going to ask her about what is the one tool that we should all have when dealing with just dealing with everyday life and trying to get our entrepreneurship together, get the faith. What faith tool can you give us? One perfect tool.
Absolutely.
That you use that you can give to someone.
Absolutely. I love that question. Develop a mantra. My mantra is my book. It's part of my training. It's action despite the distraction. I'll say it again. Action despite the distraction. Here's the winning formula. Consistent action over an extended period of time equals maximum results. You can't stop or prevent what's happening, but if you take action, you build traction. As you build traction, you keep moving. When you keep moving, you're not distracted by the things around you. You're focused on a singular goal. And if you keep moving in that direction consistently, you will get maximum results.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Because we're going to start saying action.
Despite the distraction.
Action.
Well, look, Renee, let's come on. We got some more hot guests there. Honey, my phone is jumping. So let's bring Dr. Emma Fraser Pendleton in. There we go. We got another one. Hey, how you doing?
Emma Fraser Pendleton, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Hey. So good to
Peggy,
see you.
Wyoming, and Linda brought me in as a guest host since I lead the education and mentoring. We're just so happy to have you. So tell us about what the PNC means to you.
Well, I have to put this. I have to put this out there first. Now you know I'm prejudiced. Now you know I'm prejudiced. I'm biased. I am so biased. Dr. George C. Fraser is my brother, so I would have to say something good even if I didn't want to. But I want to. I can say that knowing George his whole life and us sharing all of the good, the bad, and the ugly in our childhood, that what you see is what you get. Mm-hmm. Now you'll find this difficult to believe, but George was an entrepreneur before they had the word in the dictionary. Because at 11 years old, he had a business cleaning women's houses. And little boys didn't do that. But on Saturday, he got up. He paid my brother and myself money to do his chores, and he went out and cleaned houses. And it was remarkable. He's always been that way. And he's always been emotionally literate. So my business, Short Discovery Network, is about surmounting obstacles, achieving results. And when I first started really becoming involved with Fraser Net and now Fraser Nation, I came as a brand new widow. I had come a couple years before, but when my husband passed in 2008, that became my regular. And I have said to George privately, and I'm going to say it here. So George kind of stepped in and became my surrogate husband in the most unique way, because he just wrapped his arms around me. He helped me build my business. He shared his stage with me. He shared his brilliance with me. Of course, I'm brilliant too, and I shared my brilliance with him. But I really have to say personally, like Stacy, if you've been a regular at Fraser Net and now Fraser Nation, your life has been dramatically changed. And if it hasn't been, you've been going to the wrong conference, or you didn't take advantage of everything that was available. So I'm looking at Peggy. I'm looking at Renee. I know these other sisters, but I don't want to mess up their names. And of course, Linda, a beautiful name. I'm looking at Stacy, who was the first one. Linda. I'm looking at Stacy, who was the first one to call me Mama Emma about 5 years ago. Now that upset me. Oh, she said, "Oh, Mama Emma," and I remember saying, "I'm somebody's mother. I'm somebody's mother." But I really was upset. I said, "Oh my God, my age is showing." And then other young women started calling me Mama Emma. I said, "Okay, now what's going to happen to my image if I'm everybody's mama?" And these are grown women. But that trend, Tracy started it. She started it, and then I accepted. So when I left New York and went to North Carolina and joined the church of a young man that I was his Bible teacher when he was coming up, the first thing he did my first visit to the church, he introduced me as Mother Dr. Pendleton. I said, "All right." They were going to make me a mother in the church. I said, "Okay, now that's it." So I remember meeting with the other mothers, and we talked, and I said, "Nah, I absolutely want to serve, but you can't give me the title of Mother Emma, because I'm looking to be married. So I can't bring somebody to this church and you people be calling me Mother Emma." So we changed the name eventually to Wow Women, Women of Wisdom. Now, that feels much better. What are you going to get when you come to the conference? I'm not going to promise you're going to be somebody's mother or somebody's mentor. But wisdom has a way in the conference of exuding it out to the audience, and people are gravitating. So I'm going to piggyback on what Stacy said. This is a virtual conference, and we will miss that love that healing, that therapy when we see each other, especially the women, because at the conference when we're there, literally, we get to meet women who want you to succeed. I have never found a crab in the barrel. You understand me? And that's real important. So it sets the stage for us as women. And of course, you know, being George's sister, I don't have to say this publicly, but you know what, I will. So I'm always whispering in his ear about the role of women in the conference. And I have to say, along with Linda Clemens and some other prominent women, that we have a prominent role at the conference. Now, what's my specialty? My specialty is mindset reset. In other words, to me, you got to get your head straight. Running on crazy all the time is not attractive. So that's what I've been doing for years. But this year I have something brand new. It's emotional with intelligence 4.01, not 2.0, because I'm going to be talking about the new program I developed for African Americans, emotional intelligence for African Americans. You know, we got issues. We got issues directly related to our journey coming to America and being here, and now under COVID-19, those issues of being marginalized, of being shot and killed, our men and our young sons, and the issue of women without mates, because 65% of the prison population is our men. It's our men. So if you thought you were running on crazy before, if the probability of you finding a decent man is being limited by the prejudice and the marginalization and the racism, then we got to do something. And who's got to do it? The sisters got to do it, because we got to talk about it. So that's what I'll be doing at the conference. So I do want to give a shout out to Peggy and Renee. I know these sisters. I knew Renee before she became this glamorous person. Every time I see her, I have to say, is that Renee? Is that Renee?
You are part of the evolution.
It's part of the evolution. You know, we all have evolved. So this morning, I said, oh my God, I got to get up and comb my hair and put on lipstick. But I don't know about the rest of you. But once I get past this stop, I have on some yoga pants and sneakers. And that's the wonderful thing about virtually. You can only dress, you only have to do it to the head up. So ladies, I want you to join us. I want you to support every female speaker. Every female speaker, because the hand that rocks the cradle rules the world.
Wow. That's good.
Every good man, there's a good woman. Oh no. Beside every
Come
good
on
woman.
now. Come on now. Come on now.
Yes. We stepping up, ladies. We stepping up. So remember, come to my workshop, Emotional with Intelligence 4.01, and 4.01 stands for the 401 years that we have been victims of racism in America as Black people, and have been victims of what they've done to our men as women. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Thank you so much.
Linda, Stacy.
Yes. Hey, she said it all. I don't have any questions. I mean, she's the mother. She's queen mother. She's queen and the queen on the front of the mother. So yes, thank you.
See what you did.
You're the queen, I have to say. But thank you so much for your wisdom. Thank you so much. So who do we have next? Who do we have next? We got so much. We go, gosh, who do we have?
Oh, let's bring her in. This is another queen right here.
Who is this?
My child, my daughter.
Who? Ah, yay! Woo!
Hey, Cheryl.
Hey, Miss Cheryl.
Hey, Cheryl now.
Dr. Cheryl Wood.
Hey, my family.
Oh, Dr. Cheryl Wood, how are you?
I'm phenomenal and fantastic and wonderful and blessed and grateful.
Yes, ma'am. Well,
Yes.
before we get your spiel, I just want to say you came with us. Peggy and myself made sure you got to the PNC, and then you rolled up in there and won the elevator speech. Girl, I watched your trajectory. Come on now.
Yes.
That was 2011.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, ma'am.
Yep.
Thank you for joining us.
Of course. Look, first of all Peggy had to do is say, Cheryl, be there. That's all she got to do. And I'm like, okay, I'm there. And that's how I ended up being at Power Networking Conference, was because Peggy was like, Cheryl, this is where you need to be. And when Peggy says it, she just, it's with love and kindness, but authority at the same time. And that she's saying it because she wants the best for you and she wants you to elevate. So all she has to do is say the word and I'm there.
She got us all in the palm of her hand.
I remember that day, June 2011.
Yeah.
And you blessed all of us. I mean, you got up there and you did your thing. Cheryl was not really confident. And I said, get up there and kick it. Knock it out of the ballpark.
First of all, like I wasn't nervous enough as it was. Here comes Peggy right up in my ear before I go on stage. She touched me and she said, Cheryl, you better get up there and do what you do. Okay, yes, ma'am. I think that's why I ended up winning, because Peggy was like, you better do. Basically, she was saying, don't you get up here and show off and don't show what you do to the sisters. I was like, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yeah. I remember right before that happened, you had told us you were panting like a lion through the room all night and didn't sleep, and we were just all behind you, Cheryl.
Because I was so new. I was brand new as a speaker. Yep, I was brand new, so I wasn't. I mean, that's the beautiful thing about being around sisters and sisterhood and community like this, because especially when you're first getting started and you come from the background that I come from, the world isn't telling you that you're great. The world isn't telling you that you're a giant, especially as a Black woman. And the environment I grew up in, they certainly didn't tell me that I was great. My mother did, but my mother was busy trying to keep us on the straight and narrow. So felt like all of my life, people were telling me, the world was telling me I would just be another statistic based on my past and based on my environment. But when I came into Sisters for Sisters Network, it was a sisterhood I had never fully experienced to that level, where you all saw so much greatness in me. And the beautiful thing was, not only did you see greatness in me, but it was almost like you demanded that I step up to the plate and walk fully in that greatness, that I not sit in the back of the room and hide another moment, because there was no way I could keep this brilliance from the world. So you let me be big. You allowed me, you gave me permission to be fully me in all of my God-given brilliance and greatness without apologizing for it. And for me, that's why my allegiance is always to Sisters for Sisters Network and Peggy. Always.
Well,
that's why we love you, girl. That's why we love you.
And Cheryl, when you got the opportunity to step up and step out, you took and are still taking people with you.
Yeah,
sharing your gift and sharing what God has given you to do, and you just doing it so well. And thank you for that.
Thank you. I'm like, if you're not taking somebody with you, what are you really doing? I think about your legacy, right? We talk about legacy all the time. If you look up the word legacy, the definition of legacy is something you pass down. And when you're passing something down, a big part of passing down is also lifting up. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
So I can't say that I'm passing down the blessings that have been given to me, the doors of opportunity that have been opened for me, if I'm not opening doors of opportunity for other women. I can't even say that I'm walking in a space called legacy.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
I take that very seriously. And again, Peggy and Renee and all of you ladies and the Sisters for Sisters Network, you have modeled for me what that looks like. So you've made it easy for me to follow in your footsteps of modeling what it looks like to elevate another sister and bring her with you as God is blessing you.
My. Cheryl, I love you from the bottom of my heart. You are a true example of what all that we're all about. You bring so much value to every conversation that we have. And I just say, honey, continue doing what you're doing. We're there to support you all the way.
And hey, Dr. Stacy, happy birthday.
I was trying to just wait till they finish talking so I
Me too. But I kept seeing your face. I was like, look at her looking gorgeous over there.
I love you. So proud of you. Keep shining, sis. That's all I can say. Just keep shining, and just God continue to cover and order your steps. You know I love you, girl.
I love you too, Coco. I love you too.
And Dr. Cheryl, we are all sending heartfelt condolences for the loss that you recently experienced. We are praying. Even our last meeting, we prayed for you. And so I just want to say we love you. And I'm so glad that Peggy brought you to us and that you stuck it out.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm serious when I tell you that Peggy's name is always coming out my mouth, like everywhere I go. And Renee and all of you who were there, I have no problem recounting where I came from, because I think that keeps you humble and grateful. Even though you're being elevated to a position of power, I think it's important for you to remember where you started. And I think that also allows you to have empathy for other people who are currently where you were, and want to be elevated. And I remember coming to Power Networking Conference in 2011 in Atlanta, Georgia. And I was broke as a joke. I mean, I was like, Lord, I hope they're going to feed us at this conference, because I spent my last coins getting here. Like, it was that type of thing. I was like, I hope they feed us some food. And
they fed us well, didn't they?
And they fed us well, thank God. And that was also the same year, and at that conference, that I met Lisa Nichols in person for the first time. So everything comes full circle. I was there with in the network. I did the elevator pitch, won the elevator pitch, got introduced to Dr. George Fraser. I mean, just for me, Power Networking Conference is a space of possibilities.
Yes.
It's a space of connection, resources, and elevation. Like all of those things, possibilities, resources, connections, and elevation. It opened me up to what was possible for me as a Black woman. I didn't come from that environment. I came from an environment of poverty. I grew up in the inner city housing project in Baltimore, Maryland, Lafayette Project. You know, when you grow up in the projects, you're not taught to thrive. You're not taught wealth creation. You're taught how to survive. Look, how do I survive from day to day?
Yes,
and so when I first walked in the Power Networking Conference in 2011, I was like, what have I rolled up on? I don't even know. I don't even understand this. It's so powerful for me to see Black brilliance, Black excellence, Black millionaires and billionaires that I could actually touch and hug and take a picture with and have a conversation with, and listen to their knowledge into me.
Absolutely.
Life changing.
Thank you so much, Dr. Cheryl Wood.
Yeah, that's so true. So true.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you for joining us. We couldn't have this without you.
Yes, thank you for joining us.
I love you so much. Can't wait for the conference. I'm super excited. Admire Dr. George Fraser so much. Like I'm always in awe of him. He's one of those people, those elders, as he refers to himself, that you never get enough.
Yes.
I don't care how many times I hear him speak. Don't care how many times I hear him hear analogies. I probably could tell one of his speeches. I've listened to him so many times. I never, ever get sick of hearing Dr. Fraser. I never get tired of it. He always fills my spirit.
Every time.
He re-energizes my soul and my commitment to winning big, playing big, and doing it in excellence. And I'm like, he's just, as he said, he gangster. And I want to be a little bit like that when I grow up.
We all share your sentiments, girl.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, girl.
Love you.
Love you.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
Stacy NC Grant. Love you.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Woo! This train is moving, Peggy.
That was powerful.
We got another brother coming.
We got some brothers in the house.
The brothers coming in the house. Let's bring this one in right now. Where is he? Yes, indeed.
Welcome, sir. Welcome.
This is Brother Bedford. Can you hear us?
Welcome.
Looks
there
like
he
we
is.
have some problems there. Can you hear us? Oh, there you go.
Can you hear?
Let us hear from you.
Thank you for joining us, Brother Bedford.
Can you hear us, Brother Bedford? Looks like we got a bad connection here.
Yeah, a little slight delay.
Yes, yes, yes. All
So
righty.
when you
Well,
see him, you see Dr. George Fraser. They're a dynamic duo.
Yeah,
yes.
Brother Bedford, he does an amazing job with our podcast, and he had a whole
Can you
series
hear me?
ran with Dr. Fraser.
Yes, we can
Yes,
hear
Oh, we
you.
can hear him now. We can hear him.
Yes.
Stacy was doing you justice,
Can
but
you
we
hear
can
me?
hear. Yes.
We can hear you. We can hear you now.
Technology is something else.
Yes. Come on,
It's
introduce
something else.
yourself and
Yes,
tell
it
them
is.
about
Thank you.
your role at the Power Networking Conference.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm always honored to be in the presence of the Sisters for Sisters Network, and of course my sister, Dr. Stacy NC Grant, and then I saw Dr. Cheryl Wood, and so I'm just always honored to be in your presence and to follow up behind my mentor, my dear friend, Dr. George C. Fraser. Is always an honor and a privilege. For your listening world and viewing world who may not know me, my name is Brother Bedford. I'm the creator of Conversations with Black Millionaires and the founder of the Masters of Business Network. And my role this year at the Power Networking Conference, the global PNC this year, is to strongly encourage brothers and sisters to seek out the mentors, the coaches, the training, or the course of study that can literally change the trajectory of their lives. And so that's really my role this year, is to make sure that I reinforce that, because what you've already clearly pointed out is the results of the Power Networking Conference. I mean, we're literally, when you have a Dr. Stacy NC Grant, the PNC was a catalyst for her
Yes,
career. When you have a
yes.
Dr. Cheryl Woods, the PNC was a catalyst for her career. When you have a Brother Bedford, the PNC was a catalyst for our careers. So when you have a Trevor Otts, a Shay
Come on
Brown,
now.
I could call the roll over and over again of all of the stars that you see, and you get their start from the Power Networking Conference. And so they say you can judge a tree by the fruit it bears. And with all of the fruit that I just named, that means that the Power Networking Conference produces good fruit.
Beautiful, beautiful,
Yes,
beautiful.
sir.
I was looking for our other brother, J.R. Fenwick, and we have so many, only limited number of lines, and I think he's trying to come back in. But let's do this. I think
I have a
Renee is
question.
going to ask, not Renee, Linda's going to ask Brother Bedford
I
a
have a
question.
question.
Sure.
Right. Brother Bell,
Sure.
welcome. Good to see you again.
Great to see you. Thank
Can
you
you
for
hear me?
having me.
Welcome,
I can hear
and
you.
so glad to see you again. Yes. I'm just wondering one question. Okay, good. You can hear me? I'm just walking into your class. I've been to many of the conferences, and I'm always, you will open the door. When a person opens the door to your class, what should we expect? Why should I come to your class, your session this year? What will we learn?
Well, this year, as I mentioned earlier, and again, I know technology is probably not being our best friend today, but my role this year is not necessarily to teach a class. My role is to make sure that every brother and sister who
Okay.
attends the global PNC, that I strongly encourage them to go and get the wealth of
Mm-hmm.
knowledge from all of the other brothers and sisters that they're going to be attending their
Oh, okay.
workshops and classes. And so there's so much that's going to be going
Okay.
on that, again, my job is to make sure that, just as what we talked about, again, Dr. Stacy, myself, and others, we all attended these workshops. We all got our knowledge and our experience and our wisdom from
Mm-hmm.
all of the other presenters. And my job is just to make sure that every brother and sister gets that same opportunity that we got.
Hold on,
Wow.
ladies. He's very modest. That's not all Brother Bedford is doing for the conference. So let me jump in. In
I
addition,
know.
he's
Right.
also recapping some of the speakers that will be having the Power Talk sessions, which is like an important, pivotal part of what we do at PNC. And Brother Bedford has such a gift and a talent of summarizing and documenting what is being shared. And he's sharing that and a whole lot more. Don't let Brother Bedford fool you with that smooth look He's doing a whole lot more than
I knew it was more.
He is, and
I knew he was holding back.
Yes, and you know what? He loves to be behind the scenes helping because that's just who he is. But I'm here to shout my brother out because he's doing a whole lot more than that. And PNC would not flow the same way without his input. So that's my story, Brother Bedford. Love you, nothing you can do about it.
And this is why she's the PNC's MC. Okay, this is why she's the PNC MC.
Yes. Renee, we have
absolutely. So she's proving the point, right?
Okay.
Oh, we got another brother.
Oh my goodness. JR. Welcome. Introduce yourself. JR Fenwick, can you introduce yourself, sir?
Yeah, hi, I'm JR Fenwick, and I'm the founder and CEO of Flip.Stop.com. And we're an education technology company that specializes in teaching beginners how the stock market works.
Okay.
And thank you for joining us, JR.
Here goes the humble one.
You could just share with us. I'm sorry?
Okay.
You probably need to mute our phones, everybody. But JR Fenwick, can you just share a minute or two of your interest and what you have gotten out of the Power Networking Conference?
Yeah, so first of all, just going to the Power Networking Conference, to walk into a conference hall filled with beautiful brothers and sisters who are professional, who are excited about networking and helping each other advance their careers, advance their businesses, wheel and deal, and have fun on top of that is an experience like I've never had before. And that's the number one reason that I put it at the top of the conferences that I attend every single year. It's a must-attend conference, and there's an intangible quality or return on your investment that you get. It's hard to package and say, well, you're going to get this until you really experience and get in there and meet the different people. Like I've met all of you guys through the Power Networking Conference. It's an intangible factor that you just can't put a price tag on. So aside from the networking, the knowledge base, you have these lifelong friendships that come out of this that are just incredible. So these are that's the big intangible that a lot of people don't understand until they go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Peggy?
I just say, JR hit it on the nail. It's when you go to the Power Networking Conference, you meet so many positive and energized individuals that once you leave there, you're committed to stay connected with them. And this is how we have met each other, and this is how we have all stayed connected. So I just love my brothers. They support Sisters for Sisters Network, and I'm just excited. Can't wait to see y'all guys at the conference.
Thank you so much. Thank you all for joining us. I believe Stacy's going to stay with us. Gentlemen, if you just had 30 seconds to just say something to the person who's not sure that they want to come to PNC, what would you say?
Who is that to?
Brother Bedford.
Okay.
Either one.
Well, you want to go first, JR?
I think JR may have to go. Could he hear Brother Bedford? Okay, there he is. Okay. Did you hit the question, Brother Bedford?
I think we might have a little delay.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Here's the slide. Okay.
What I would say, I'm hoping you can hear me, but what I would say to anyone who's watching and they're on the fence, again, the greatest testimony to the power of the Power Networking Conference is looking at everyone that we have here. Again, the catalyst for Sisters Network, Stacy NC Grant, Dr. Cheryl Wood, myself, and many others have come from the Power Networking Conference. And if you want a career that's going to skyrocket and change your life, you need to get involved in that same process. And it happened at the Power Networking Conference.
Thank you so much, Dr.
Okay.
I'm going to call you Doctor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're a Dr. Brother, Bedford.
Thank you so much. JR?
Mm-hmm. I would say if somebody's on the fence about coming to the conference, I'd ask them to say this. Number one, how do you feel about where you are in your life? Business-wise, personal growth-wise. And then if you're not where you want to be, ask yourself, if you keep doing what you're doing, how's that going to work out for you? How's it going to work out for you? If you just keep doing what you're not doing.
Yes, sir.
If you don't invest in yourself and try something new and different and come out and see what this is about, then you can't sit around and complain about why you're not getting where you want to get. Because all of us, our careers, our businesses, our friendships, and now we're a family, have just skyrocketed. And, a lot of times you hear about these different conferences and things like that, and people are just, hyping it up and all this.
Yeah.
This is really a family atmosphere. This is really where people care about you and will check on you, not only business-wise, but, hey, how's your family going? Is there something going on in your life that we can help with? This is a different type of conference that is unlike anything else I've been. So if you're on the fence and you're not where you want to be, well, then you ask yourself, what's going to change in your life if you just keep doing what you're doing?
Yes,
And
sir.
I highly encourage you, give us a try. Put us to the test. See if what we're saying is really true. We already know what's going to happen once you come.
Yes, sir.
Year after year after year. So that's what I would say on the fence.
Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you so much, JR.
Thank you so much.
All right. Love you guys.
Bye-bye.
Wow, that was explosive,
Hey,
right,
well,
lady?
before we go any further, Dr. Renee, can we have Dr. Stacy put out information how people can register?
Absolutely. Good, Wyoming. Good.
Yes. So all you need to do is go to powernetworkingconference.com. That's powernetworkingconference.com. You will see how to access our conference. There's still room for you to secure your seat. We have some extra bonuses, some surprises, but you have to be there in order to take advantage of it. So once again, it's powernetworkingconference.com. All of the links are there. If you have questions, you can actually email it right from the site. We have a whole team that's standing by. We're excited about this first global virtual conference. We have participants from the motherland. We have participants from the Caribbean. We have participants from intercontinental United States. I mean, this is global. So you don't want to miss this year's conference. This is going to be epic. We launched Fraser Nation, and now we're taking it to a whole nother level. powernetworkingconference.com. powernetworkingconference.com. Secure your seat today. We are going to have opportunities for you to have one-on-one conversations. You're going to be able to visit our Power Suites, where we have interaction with some of our select vendors, our power exhibitors, and then we have our power coaches. You might need some one-on-one coaching. You might need some assistance with how to pivot. As Linda Clemens would say, you can't pivot if you're panicked. And we have power coaches who are available to have one-on-one sessions with you, group sessions with you. The options are endless. We're maximizing this virtual reality, and trust and believe, you want to say that you were there for a global Power Networking Conference 2020. And I look forward to hanging out with you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Wyoming.
Awesome. Yeah, you're welcome.
We had everybody on, but we didn't know how to get to you. So
Right.
Thank you, Dr. Stacy.
Absolutely.
Yes. We're running out of time, but we're going to keep it moving because somebody said we control the time. I think that was Wyoming or Peggy, but come on now. So we want to take a few minutes to just speak with some of our sisters who have experienced the Power Networking Conference. I myself have been going on and off for 12 years, brought to full circle back to Dr. George C. Fraser, who I've known for almost 30-something years, through Sisters for Sisters Network. And so it has really changed my life, connected me to people and longtime friends, like Dr. Stacy said, that it's just priceless. So let's start off with Janice Leak. Is she with us?
No, she's coming, but
okay. Well, Peggy, you can take over from here since you know who's in the waiting.
Okay, let's bring in Sharon Pollock.
Hi, Sharon.
Hello, ladies. Can you hear me?
Yes.
What an awesome
Hey,
show.
Sharon.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Sharon.
Oh my God, look at you. I said, who is that young girl we have on here?
For those of you who don't know who Sharon Bullock is, yes, I'm sorry, Sharon. I just want to let everyone to know, because not everyone knows who you are, believe it or not.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And she is one of the founders of Sister for Sisters Network and the vice president. So we're going to start off with her and take a minute or two at the most and talk about your experience with the PNC.
Absolutely. Well, let me just say this. Without PNC, there would be no Sisters for Sisters Network. How about that? Because that is where we got started. Okay. So the PNC is who we are. We are part of the PNC, and so are they. So it's just like it's all one in one, you know. So that's how we got started. The PNC is absolutely an amazing conference. If you've never been, you've got to experience it. And why not virtually? Virtually, you're going to probably find out a whole lot more because you're going to be more focused. Whereas when we were there, of course, you know, there are a lot of people, you just all gravitate to all the people that are there. You get attracted to the celebrities and this, you know, all of the excitement. But the workshops is really what it's about. And that's what you're going to learn whatever you need to know about your business or whatever it is you're trying to do. It's going to be there for you because the expertise is there. So I highly recommend it.
Wonderful.
Thank you. Awesome testimony. Come on now.
Dr. Renee.
Yes.
Before you bring on another sister, I believe we want to give Dr. Stacy opportunity to say goodbye. She may have something else to do. We took up all her time today.
I don't want
She's
to let
a busy
her go.
lady.
I don't want to let her go.
I know. But I know she has so much going on. Thank you for hanging out with us, though.
Yes.
Thank you for having me. I wouldn't leave if it wasn't for my child. And I am so late to help him finish out his Eagle project. He is about to become an Eagle Scout. So get there.
Oh, wow. Wonderful. Congratulations.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much. Love you.
Love you all.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
That's why Wyoming's always thinking about people. I love it. Always thinking about the time and respecting your time. Come on, Wyoming.
Another fabulous wife.
He's our executive. He keeps us on track.
All right, let's bring in Dr. Jennifer Harris. There she is.
Hey, how are you ladies doing?
We're wonderful.
Wonderful. When we have Dr. George Fraser and Dr. Stacy, and Emma and JR and Brother Bedford, it has been amazing morning, afternoon, and evening.
Yes,
we had Sherwood with us. So come on, introduce yourself, and Renee, take it from there.
Yes, Doctor, please introduce yourself and take a minute, two at the most, and tell us about your experience with the Power Networking Conference.
Oh, absolutely. So my name is Dr. Jennifer Harris. I am the founder and CEO of Purses, Pumps, and Power. And I so love Dr. Fraser, Dr. Emma, everyone on the staff and faculty at the Power Networking Conference. I've had the pleasure of being one of the executive coaches the last several years. So I love coaching individuals on my Passion to Profit blueprint. And so that is one of the main reasons why you have to execute, and not only execute when you're at the Power Networking Conference, but you also have to make sure that you implement everything that you're going to learn. There's so much they're trying to get across over the last few days, 3 days, but I'm telling you, it is power packed. And so you cannot miss it. You got to get registered, get with one of the coaches, the executive coaches, exhibit the vendors and everyone, because it's going to really take your business to the next level. And not only that, you're able to collaborate, you're able to really see how to scale your business from maybe 5 figures to 6 and 7 and 8 figures. So you want to make sure that you're definitely there at the Power Networking Conference and get into the workshops along with the coaches. So I have had the pleasure of having Dr. Fraser as one of my mentors over the last 20 plus years.
Wow.
Actually, gave him a Man of Greatness award at my I Declare Greatness conference that was last year, along with Dr. Emma and Miss Peggy. So I am so thrilled that we are still able to pivot during this time of COVID. But not only that, we have a chance to bring in, like they say, people from globally, because I've traveled to the motherland. I received my doctorate from there as well. And I'm telling you, it is going to really take your business to the next level and your brand by coming to the Power Networking Conference.
Wow, Dr. Harris. Listen, I'm just meeting you, but you have just started something here. You said pivot in COVID. Come on now, pivot in COVID.
That's right. And so another thing we have to make sure is that we never stop, because even though COVID may have, caused people, but there's been more businesses created this year in this time of COVID, and those that shut down, it may have been a way for them to totally pivot from something that they can not only have here locally, but also internationally. So, and the Power Network.
Right. That's so true.
Thank you. Thank you so much for those words. Thank you for the testimony.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wow.
We got to say the best for the last and the last for the best. And that's Dr. Gina Bell. Let's bring her in.
Come on in, Gina. I was just asking. I said, Gina still back there?
Hey, Gina.
This has been an awesome show. Let me just say that. I have been totally engaged the whole time. It has just been awesome. So I am excited to still be here.
No, I think it's awesome that you're still hanging out with us. I know, Renee, did you have something? Because I was going to say that, Dr. Gina always bring us our power of 10 at the beginning of the show. That's what you have?
Dr. Gina, power of 10. Come on now.
Can you give us? Go ahead, Peggy.
Before she gets started, the Power Networking Conference 2019 was where I met Dr. Gina Bell.
Wow.
Getting off the flight to Houston, Texas, in the parking lot, waiting for transportation. She walks in. Immediately, I knew she was going to the Power Networking Conference.
We can tell. We can always tell.
She must have been looking just as beautiful as she's looking today. That's why you
always looking beautiful.
You ladies are so wonderful. And I'll just say this. I'm going to give this power 10 and I'm going to do it in about a couple of minutes or less. But I just want to say, I want to thank all of you, because had it not been for the Power Network, I wouldn't have met Peggy. I would not have met Dr. Fraser. I would not have met, Dr. Emma, and just so many others, and Dr. Stacy. So all of those I met, and I will tell you, I was at the Power Network because of Shay Brown and Trevor Ott. So you know what?
Shay.
So it's awesome. So I just want to say, so my power 10 today is about why you should be at a networking event. What's the power of networking? Because if there's anybody there that's still on the fence after all that you've heard, and you see the power of the individuals that are involved in it and how your business can change, and I just want to leave you with one last thought, and that is your net worth is your network. So let me just say that again. Your net worth is your network. So you gotta be there. You gotta be in the room. And I want to give you my top 10 reasons why you need to be there. Number one, to help build relationships, because you can't grow if you don't get out and grow. So in order for you to grow personally or professionally, you got to take the action, as people have already said today. Secondly, it can expand your business. So if you're a business owner and you're ready to take your business to another level, then you probably need to be there. Thirdly, is to align with like-minded people, because let me tell you, we need the skills and the expertise of others to lift us to another level. Number 4, to increase the possibilities for new opportunities and new insights. And I think Dr. Cheryl Wood talked about that and how the new possibilities are coming. Number 5, to collaborate on new adventures and even joint ventures. So just imagine that. Number 6, to understand new market opportunities, because there's a lot of wisdom and a lot of knowledge that will be dropped. Number 7, to encourage mentors and mentorships. If you need a mentor, you need to be there. And number 8, to improve communications, not only communications, but how you communicate with others, but your own communication. Cheryl Wood told you that. That's where she won the pitch contest. Number 9 is to foster new ideas and new innovations. And lastly, for inspiration and motivation, because you know what, it's a lot of wisdom there, and we all need wisdom. So I'm Dr. Gina L. Bell. You can follow me on social media, but most importantly, make sure you're at that Power Networking Conference.
Thank you so much. And look, that was amazing. Amazing. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Well, we have one more person, and then we can close out, Renee. We have Janice Leak. Let me bring her in as well.
Janice, I love her.
Oh,
Janice. There she is. Janice.
Hello, ladies. Hello. It's so good to be in your illustrious presence.
Listen, can you please introduce yourself and take a minute, no more than 2, to tell us about your experience with the Power Networking Conference?
Absolutely. My name is Janice Leak. I've been a friend of Dr. Fraser for 40 years. I remember we first got the platform started with just a book, a networking book that he put together. And it has grown expeditiously over the years. And now it is a conference not to be missed. I attended his very first conference. I drove from DC alone, went to the conference back in Cleveland, and I was so enamored with the strength and wisdom of the people that were guest speakers there, till I drove all the way from Cleveland back to DC in total silence, just absorbing all of the wealth and the knowledge that was imparted on the likes of S. Brown and Dr. Randall Pinkin, Dr. Janetta Coles. It was a phenomenal experience. And since then, I traveled numerous times to Atlanta, to his conferences, to right here in the DC metropolitan area at the Gaylord Hotel. And it is always something that you will not regret. And more importantly, it will something that will empower you forever. So I just encourage all of you to, everybody on here has been on this, has been to this Power Networking Conference, but I'm speaking to all of you who have not, all of you who have not and that are within the sound of our voices. Please take heed. Do not miss out on this amazing group.
Thank you.
Ooh, thank you
so much.
That's what I have to say.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you. And listen, I'm getting ready to turn it over to our host, Wyoming. I want to thank Peggy, Linda, for inviting me to be a co-host once again with Four Sisters Live. And I want to thank my dear friends and followers like Dr. Bruno Mazzali, who joined us today. We love you. We want you to stay engaged. And really, you'll take away a lot of information and resources from this show. So thank you again. God bless y'all, Wyoming.
No, we thank you, Dr. Renee. We love you. And girl, you know, we love you. We love you. We can't say it enough, because when we call you there, you say yes. And that's what matters. The sisters like you and Sharon and Janice, of course, Dr. Bell. It makes Four Sisters Live feel like we are doing something worth something.
Yes.
You know, that we feel like we are doing what God has called us to do, and that is to empower and engage people and enlighten them, you know, as to what we're doing. And that is to uplift each other and be very positive as much as we can. And no matter what's going on, we got to stay connected. Absolutely. What's the motto, Sharon? What's the motto, girl?
Women helping women to connect.
There you go. That's what we say. So we've had a great time. We're going to have an even better time. Of course, this is the Power Networking Conference. Everyone go on to powernetworkingconference.com. See what it's all about. This is just a tip of the iceberg of the people who we had on here today, just to briefly come on and give you what's going to be happening. Dr. George Fraser is just an awesome, awesome man. He's just not just a man, he's a man of God.
Yes. He's half man, half machine.
He's the power. He's the powerful network. What'd you say, Peggy?
He's the man of wisdom.
He is such a man of wisdom. Absolutely. But next week, we're going to have another awesome show. Yes. We have the Furlough Sisters coming. Everybody had those cheesecakes from the Furlough Sisters?
Oh.
They're going to be on next week. Yes. Oh,
and then we're going to have a young lady by the name of Angela Rich.
Yes, that's an awesome sister. I met her at the PNC conference when it was here at the Gaylord.
Yes.
This young woman is a millionaire. And she's young. I mean, she's awesome. She's awesome now. She got it going on. So we look forward to having her on next week as well. Yeah, she's very awesome. I'm inspired.
Forward to seeing her.
Yes, awesome. Absolutely. So we've had a great day, and what can we say? Continue to enjoy your birthday, Renee. Celebrate, girls. Celebrate.
Look, Wyoming.
Yes,
I have to give my girlfriend a plug. She's giving something for me tomorrow. Stephanie White Events. And I don't know who was invited or who wasn't, but she is giving me a little something tomorrow. So
beautiful.
Oh, well, it's great to have girlfriends like that, you know?
Yeah. Happy birthday, Renee.
Happy birthday again. Happy birthday.
Thank
you as well. So it's been a great day and a great time we've had. So what time is it, ladies? It's time for you to walk in your purpose and prosperity. Yes. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Bam, boom, pada.
Pada.
Bye-bye.
Next week.
Sing it, Peggy.